viewers, welcome back to Mo Hotel Adventures. It's Sunday the 5th of January 2025 and it's not a very pleasant day out there really today. It's pretty grim to say the least. It feels cold, it's wet, pretty miserable. The whole country is like pretty much the same. Probably further north it's like snow, stuff like that. I'm just looking out my skylight window, that's what I'm looking at, the rain coming down. So it's pretty grim. But anyway, the news is, so we actually arrived at 2.5 million views on our YouTube channel today. So we just pushed over 2.5 million views, which is just pretty incredible really. It's just the fact
Mo Hotel Adventures
this is
YouTube
how
channel
kind of
is awesome.
I started the YouTube channel, just sort of stood in this motorhome, sort of talking about things I do with it, what we did with it, what we still do with it. Grey water. While I'm actually talking to you and thinking about that, before I lose concentration, let me just do the honours. Down the sink with a bit of that. Keep it fresh. I think from Cofton the other day, so we actually drained off the grey water at Cofton, and then we actually ran back with the tap open, and so it's all totally gone, and then we yeah, sort of just leave it open, vent it, and then I've just closed off the tap and just add a little bit of that, keeps all them pipes fresh. Let me just little dribble down there as well. Back in with that one. 2 more to go. I kind of like do this just to anybody watching, they probably just to remind people to probably do the same. Just keeps everything nice and fresh while the motorhome's stood up for a little bit. Bit down there. Lovely. Back in with a plug. Job done. And for anybody that doesn't realise what I'm actually putting down there, it's the grey water fresh concentrate, that one. I brought that in as well from my little locker outside, and I'm just going to spray a little bit of that around the toilet, shut off as well. Bit of that in around there, just to keep the old guillotine working nice and free. It does make a difference. Whack a bit of that in. Bit of silicone. That's right in the catch and shut. So that's that. I'll get back outside. I was actually talking, well, in fact I started watching a couple of clips last night. I don't know what brought that on. Oh, we were talking, I'll tell you what we were talking about, was the fact that we were down near Cabo de Gata. If you followed the videos from last year, 2024, we were into January, and basically on the 5th of January last year we ended up leaving Aqua Amarga, and we ended up later on that same day down at Cabo de Gata, which was the camper park at Cabo de Gata. I'm just actually looking at the photos, and what happened, we got on the camper park down there, and that was where I ended up paying for the 2 nights, and didn't realise that I paid for 2 nights, so we ended up staying an extra night, and the lady down there told us about some good, so we were going to leave because we thought we needed to leave, but as it goes, we stayed for an extra night and it was all cool, so we went and had a little drive around the area, and we ended up down that San Jose, something like that, just not far around the corner from Cabo de Gata, and The reason we were talking about it is the fact that the road was super narrow down there, and it was a little bit it was just one of them instances that Caroline, yes, she is feeling a bit better now, she's on the mend, definitely big style, and we've actually been out over the weekend, not in the motorhome, but just doing a few bits and pieces, looking at other motorhomes. Oh my goodness me. We'll come to that in a minute. Anyway, so yeah, we were just like talking about that instance of where sometimes you end up in these super narrow places, and it can be, even with a 7 meter with the box on, can be a bit scary as regards watching out for overhanging balconies and lampposts and stuff like that. When the streets get narrow, there's a lot of things hanging out on them kind of like roads, especially when you get abroad. They're hanging, even their washing gets hanging. So for, you know what the score is if you've been down there, you know what I'm talking about. But that is the kind of instance where you know, we sort of always talk about advantages and disadvantages of bigger motorhomes, smaller motorhomes, camper vans, all that kind of stuff all comes into the equation, and how things can yeah, so things can be quite obviously with bigger motorhomes, it is, you've got to know where you're going. You're not going to take that down anywhere. You've got to know you're going to a camper park, and you've got to know that that camper park is going to accommodate you, everything like that. To be honest, with the 7 meter Burstner, it's been an absolute godsend of like, where am I going with this? We have literally got to that little stage in our lives where we think we are possibly, you know the score, we were getting a little bit itchy the other day, to be honest, when we started looking at that Adria twin, stuff like that. So that was the first, but that didn't kind of, it didn't hit the spot. Didn't hit the spot. You know, if anybody sort of like us are real passionate about the motorhomes and what it's got to feel like when you're inside your motorhome, will understand the fact that once you've had a beautiful, homely kind of motorhome that's sort of like ticking all the boxes, and it's very, very difficult to find something, especially when you go looking in cold, damp weather, like this kind of weather at the moment. You start looking around because they don't feel too homely when you're inside. And sometimes you've got at the moment, I've got all the blinds up in this motorhome except for the front roof skylight at the front, but basically all the other blinds are up, and I've got the lighting on, so there's no external. Oh, sorry, I do apologise. We've got two roof hatches that are showing a bit. I'm just going to shut them as well, so let's shut them up as well. So basically everything's shut up and you're in this kind of little TARDIS-y box. I've got the DeLonghi on. It's quite a lot, nice and warm, comfortable, and just that kind of like ambience where you could sit down, get something to eat, have a drink, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, whatever you want to do, and just sort of like relax, listen to the radio, and it feels good. Over the weekend, like that, we actually went in something that we were going, this feels nice. I'm literally not gonna tell you guys what it was at this stage of the game. I'm just gonna, I'm sort of like, yeah, just kicking around a little bit, and thought I'd put out a vlog, and so we'll see what develops, but we are pretty excited, to be fair, and you know us, everything has got to be thought about. Big styly, there's loads of different things to think about, massive amounts of things to think about when it comes to doing these kind of transitions. So we will keep you posted. I'll keep you posted in due course, and we'll see what develops on the horizon. But yeah, we're quite excited. Occasionally, you know, you tick along. We used to ride, I said, believe it or not, we used to ride I said to Caroline, we used to ride a motorbike and go travelling on a motorbike. And what do we take with us? What did we take with us? Oh my goodness me. I've just been packing away all the Christmas decorations and having a sort of little bit of a tidy up. Yeah, just sort of having a little rummage around. And but yeah, that sort of question came up, and you know, we were kind of we used to take our wash bags and toothbrushes and all our clothes, a change of clothes, shorts and footwear on a motorbike. Yeah, so, and all of a sudden you sort of get into, like, you progress on with your life and end up like we did, progressing on into like motorhome life, and then you sort of start adding lots of different swag, you know, and maybe there's a lot of things. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, I think it was probably maybe 3 years ago now at Newbury, I think it was, where we bought some of them seats that you lie in, where they're like a wind bag. You just like fill them up with wind and like tie them off. And never used them. We've never used them. Always thinking about using them. Never used them. Always like used to put them in on trips. I think I did back in September, and never got to use it. There's all these things, and you know, so as it goes, sometimes, like, how much do you need? Yeah, how much do you need to carry? Sometimes you need to maybe take stock and trim back, and yeah, what have we actually got in here? What have we actually got in here? Yeah, a load of well, I've actually got, let me just show you this. So we were saying, why are we taking, what are we taking? We're taking 4 bowls. We take 4 bowls. There's only 2 of us. There's certain things. I've just flicked the light on actually in this cupboard so you can get a rough idea of where it is. So we've got this cupboard that's obviously normally it's like a wardrobe because it's got a slide out, but there are my 2 travel bags still in there with BMW Motorrad on it from the days of like motorcycling, and I still use them to this day of putting on my so there's 2 bags there, basically all my clothes is in them 2 bags that I need for a change of clothes, and obviously the clothes I'm wearing. Yeah, so there's my 2 bags, and I probably could minimise a lot of stuff in them bags as well. Yeah, still looking very, very grim out there, but yeah, the other thing I was actually saying to Caroline, sorry, are you back with me? But a little bump in the night. Yeah, when we actually specified this motorhome, we went for this L-shaped lounge. It looks it does actually look $1 million. It looks $1 million, but it's very, very rarely we actually kind of like utilize it, if you know what I mean. I don't know whether, you know, so give us a comment. I think, you know, there's certain kind of things you just sort of get into this formality, I think, in your motorhome of just the way you kind of operate. And yeah, occasionally I'll unclip the table and slide it out that kind of direction if I need more of a you know, workspace, almost like a desk thing to work on with a computer and stuff like that. But and normally, like Caroline would just sort of almost like sit this side, you know, comfortably, and yeah, read a book at the table, do a puzzle book, something like that, and yeah. But again, it's kind of you know, we've always like said, like, you know, basically we sort of push this table back against here, and that's almost where it kind of like, that's almost like home for it a lot of the time. Yeah, so with us, when you're actually like traveling, you're doing a lot of traveling, and you know, by the time you're sort of like looking out the windows, taking everything in, and the time just goes so quick, and a lot of the time it's kind of like we were going to do, you know, we were going to sort of maybe do that or do this, that and the other, and sometimes we're saying about our magnetic storage jars up here, it seemed like a good idea. It seemed like it's a really lucrative idea, and yeah, we got a couple of coffee cups up there as well. You know, sort of like things, yeah, that you just don't. It seems like a really good idea, and then it just like sort of doesn't map out really. Yeah, so I'm just sort of putting a few things out there, just on a bit of a whim really. But yeah, so yeah, we sort of I like a challenge, and I like sort of trying to you know, provide solutions to problems, you know, if you know, to try and make things really work in your motorhome and stuff. And sometimes you end up sort of getting to the end, maybe the end of the challenge, you know. So yeah, okay, I think I'm going to probably wrap this up and go and have a bit of tea, and we'll catch up with you guys soon. But thanks ever so much if you watched our YouTube channel, and you know, we endeavour for 2025 to obviously yeah, bring you some interesting content, and yeah, keep you updated on things. Things are moving on. Things move on. Yeah, we've been noticing a lot of people are upgrading to compressor style fridges now. So obviously with the this style fridge that we've got, I'm always going on about the fridge vents, and you know, these compressor fridges now do not need any ventilation at the back, so there's nothing to worry about with like them panels that go in to try and keep the weather out, stuff like that, which again, things are moving on, making things even more lucrative and probably better for the operator of the motorhome. I think that is it. I've waffled enough. Leave us a comment. See what you know. What do you think? Have you done this recently? Have you done this recently? Have you done your blade on your toilet? Keep it lubricated up. I've just actually lubricated my door locks as well. This door lock was I thought, hello, that's almost sounded a bit like it was a bit sluggish. So I've just put a load of silicone spray in the door locks as well. Keep them all lubricated, keeps all the central locking working tickety boo, and if your battery does go flat, you can still override it with the key. Plenty of lube in the key barrel. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. We will catch you later on in the week.